Yo! Happy Saturday,
Hello.
guys. Happy Saturday. Super special Saturday night main event. We got the Okie Reviews, aka the Okie Show, Double O Danny, and the legendary The Deuce, the barrel burner historian, is with us
The
tonight.
deuce is loose.
The Deuce is loose, guys. What's going on? What's happening?
Nada. Another Saturday, lovely weather.
Living that Florida life. All right, guys, I'm smoking the Los Calaveras 2024 tonight. That is on our top 10 list. Okie, what do you got fired up tonight?
I have the Warhead 10 from Espinosa, which is coincidentally also in the top 10.
Oh, which is such a great cigar. What about you, Danny?
I got the Blackworks Intergalactic, also on the top 10.
Great smoke. And what about you, Deuce?
I've got the Room 101 Big Payback, which ironically is on the top 10 list.
Wow, a common theme tonight. Pratsy, you know, motherfucker, I'm going to wear this hat every year for this live. My wife does not burn it because she does not know where I hide it at. She would burn it, but I hide it.
He stole that hat from Mr. Fuji.
All right, Chad. Let me go back, Chad. I want to see what everybody's smoking. All right, George was the first one. George is smoking the Law 4. David's smoking nothing. ATP Dave, Sad Davis, you know him, is 6, so he's not smoking. Keith, not California Keith no more. He is now Florida Keith, is smoking an ORT. Such a great cigar. What's up, Bob? Yeah, that is Deuce. You remember who he is, Sad Dave? Do you remember the Deuce? Because he is loose again. What's up, Brutus?
I love me some Sad Dave.
Everybody loves some Sad Dave. All right, I see Rudy's. Is Rudy's worth the buy? I know Keith was smoking it earlier today. I've seen some people smoking the Rudy's Christmas from Espinosa. Bob is smoking the LFD Lanox.
Yep, I got to ask Bob which size.
I haven't had that one. COVID is what Doughboy smoking. Sorry to hear that, Doughboy. But that's it, guys. I was within the 5-second parameter tonight of rescheduling this because we had a storm roll through. Electricity went off, and as I'm commenting back and forth with Okie to figure out the next day to schedule this, the internet and the lights came back on. So we made it.
All right, Bob. Yeah, that one is. Yep, Bob, that's a great smoke. I love the Toro in it, but if you can find that Petite Lanox that comes in the little 5-pack, those things are out of this world. Probably the best thing that LFD does.
Sad Dave said if it's Bob, it's small. All right, guys, we're going to start the show real quick. I'm just going to go back and we're going to do a quick rundown of 1 through 10 last year for y'all. If you didn't watch that live, of course it's up. Also, this live will be up as well. But last year's top 10, and we're going to go real fast. Once again, the top 10. Number 10 was the Warhead 9. Number 9 was the McAuliffe Black.
Oh, I remember I was going to get really, really mad about this again, but I'm just going to stay chill because I think I was pretty worked up about this time last year.
A lot of us were worked up with between, I think, 1 through 3 because some of these numbers threw us for a loop. Number 8, as you've seen, was the Tattoo 10th Tuxla. The Johnny Tobacco Knot hit at number 7. The West Tampa Red hit at 6. So with this countdown last year, you did see a few names that hadn't been in the top 10, which was good to see. Room 101 14th. The Big Sky Blackfoot, always good seeing Big Sky up there. Swine Gear, what's up, buddy? Leather Biker Gene, good seeing you guys come out of hiding. The Murcielago de Ora was number 3. The El Pupo hit at number 2 last year. This was a tough one. And the Knuckle Sandwich 55. On any given day, them two cigars, in my personal opinion, could flip depending on what I'm wanting that day. That was a tough one. What was your big gripe last year at this time with this top 10, Okie? I don't quite remember. I just remember.
Yeah, I mean, I think mine was the Knuckle Sandwich 55 being that high. I mean, the Blackfoot was great. The Warhead 9 was another great example from them. I felt it should have been higher. The McAuliffe Black, that thing was an amazing cigar. The West Tampa Red. I mean, everything on there was good, but I was just like, come on now. You know,
I would have been probably more angry if the Blackfoot wouldn't have hit the top 5. It should have been top 3, in my opinion.
And I think that was just availability more than anything else, because I mean, it came out late, and so everybody was trying to scramble and get it.
Well, what we're going to do, so this year we kind of alleviated all that from happening, but of course it still happened because the last 2 weeks of December, shit got pushed out after we done had the votes finalized. So what we're going to do moving forward, we're not going to start voting till probably mid-December, and this stream will be mid to end of January to make sure we get those last 2 to 3 week cigars that are dropping the end of the year now to pop in there and be able to be voted for, because it sucks that they're coming out that late. Now it seems to be the new norm that so many cigars are coming out the last quarter of the year, but more are pushing the last month of the year, it seems, than ever. I don't know what the push is. I don't know if that was the backup from COVID and that's going to be our new norm. I don't know.
Well, and I think another big move is going to be for the trade show being pushed, PCA/ITCPR being pushed up to March rather than it being traditionally in July. I mean, because that was usually the target that everybody tried to hit, and then they were making their sales then, and then making all the shipments to the retailers toward the end of the year, so everybody was getting their stuff. Well, now I think it's kind of thrown it on its ear a little bit that you got guys that are hitting right off the bat. They're getting stuff for the trade show, but then they've got something else in their back pocket that they're putting out the back half. Just to kind of keep that fire going. So, it's
now you got to have it first half of the year and last half of the year again. Summer may be the slow month for us now. So we'll see. We'll see. So, would you guys, don't even have to be on the list. What is one cigar that you had that came out this year that really stuck out to you that you've probably enjoyed the most? We'll start with Okie on that one because he's got all the knowledge. Give Danny time to think about it. Give Deuce time to wake up.
I got two. So he said the Black Label Intergalactic was on. This was another one that came out this year. The Black Label Trading Coffin Nails. There was a 10-pack, folds up, looks like cigarette. These things here are phenomenal. They're great, short, quick smokes. I love those things. I would put them on par with a lot of those other short formats that were just absolutely excellent cigars. And then I'm going to chastise everybody now because this cigar fell off the list. It came in number 11, the El Pulpo Fried.
Because people don't even know it exists. Nobody knows it exists.
Amazing. So, I mean, come on. The packaging on it, flip top, everything looks like a cigarette package. I mean, it takes you a second to get into this damn thing.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Match area, match striker, 5 sticks in there. I mean, it's a great buy. It really harnesses everything that was great about the El Pulpo this past year. It was really good. Really enjoyed it. There were some of the other common brands that were out there. I smoked a lot of Black Label. I smoked a lot of, Espinosa stuff. I smoked a lot of, just all the different brands that we normally hit. And I didn't have a bad cigar this year. I will say that.
Right.
Everything was good, but,
I think that El Pulpo was the quietest release I've ever seen for anything Billy and Gus did. A lot of people didn't even know it was a thing. Somehow, for the first few weeks of voting, it stayed in our top 10. And then we just had an influx of people come in and vote, and it fell out. But a lot of people, when I posted pictures of it, they're like, what is that? You didn't see it really advertised nowhere. You didn't see them do this big social media push anywhere. But it is so damn good. That cigar should have been in a top 5 of this countdown, but yet it fell off the top 10 because I only know of probably 6 burners has even had it.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up buying more. I mean, it was.
I bought the big box of it. It came with 4 or 5 of those 5-packs.
Yeah,
that's the one I bought. It's like the display for the counter, which is also good presentation.
And that's kind of where I drifted over this past year as well. I've got a lot of shorter format smokes because I might have to jump out and do something here around here, be on the tractor or the mower or something like that, and I'm only going to be on it for an hour or so, and I'd like to have a good quick hitting cigar and not waste. So,
Yeah. Well, chat, don't you commented on here too. Dave, ATP Sad Dave, said he liked the Davidoff Maduro. So chat, you pop in what you like this year. Dave, I found the only place I found the El Pulpo when it first dropped, and I don't know who has it now, but it was Atlantic had them. That was the only place I could find them. And I broke my rule of not buying Atlantic because I wanted to try the cigar. Only place I could find them. So I don't know. All right, Danny, what about you? What cigar stood out to you this year, brother?
I would say just because I had it recently was the Intergalactic, the
The blue or the orange?
No, I guess the orange.
Yep, the orange, the newer one. Okay.
But that's been my palate lately. Lately, I've just wanted to overcome whatever gunk I have going on in my head because I mean we're all getting over colds and stuff. So I felt like I needed something to just like get me over the hump. I did have the fry earlier, not too long ago. It was at a Corona cigar, and I had totally forgotten about that cigar. I mean, I was like, oh damn. And it was in the little 5-pack, the same little box.
Right.
And I didn't even know it came out until I had it then. The only issue I would have with it was I wanted more cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. But I don't think it could have been that good if it was any bigger though.
You're probably right about that. But like I wanted just more cigar. Plus I probably had a couple of, cocktails in me that made me want to sit there longer and not look for another.
Got you. Well, that's two good cigars. And James, I'm gonna do different for you, Deuce. I want to see because you did the hunt down when I sent you this list of 10 cigars in the top 10.
Yeah.
You went out there and actually grabbed them all and tried. So, what was your favorite to smoke out of all those? Now that because you saved this one for today, but you smoked enough of it already to kind of know.
Yeah. I mean, you know how I am with Room 101 or anything AJ Fernandez does. So I think the one that really jumped out to me, and it was a cigar I haven't had in a while, was a Blackbird. So the Superb was, I thought superb. It gave me full 3/3 of different flavors that just kind of walk through and work together.
Right.
So I mean, but I have to say, I'm just glad to get my taste back where I can differentiate some of this, because some of the cigars that I've smoked recently, they're tractor cigars.
Yeah.
You throw it in and you
they're weed eating and cutting grass. You don't even.
I got nothing out of that but a good smoke.
Right.
So I found a new retailer here that I hadn't tried before. And this guy is got a lot of good stuff, and he has the full line of Blackbird. So I jumped in and bought several of those, and have really liked getting back and doing it.
Good. I kind of twist your arm and got you back. Look at there.
You got me back.
And me and Oki was commenting on the Superb and behind the scenes because I hyped that cigar up a lot. I've liked it. The Crow and the Unkind were my two favorite Blackbirds up until this point, but to me, I enjoyed the Superb better than both of those. I think it hits my palate different, and I know Oki, I'll get your opinion on the Superb, and then we'll kind of move on. But because Oki's one of those palates I would normally trust and like, so it's always funny when I don't like something or he don't, vice versa, just to see.
Yeah, there was something about it that didn't hit my palate right. I know Jonas uses a lot of Dominican tobacco, and sometimes that's really a hit for me, or it's really a miss. And I think he used a couple of wacky ones inside of there that are a different priming or whatever that just didn't hit me right. So I mean, it was one of those that I think some of his core line stuff was better. I think that he did a few blends for a cigar club that shall not be named that were early on that were absolutely stellar. So for me, he set the bar really high, and the Superb didn't really jump out at me. I mean, it was very, very middle of the pack for Blackbird for me.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. The Deuce. George wants to know.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm looking up what the shop was. I should know, but
he's old. Give him a second, George.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goodfellas
Cigars.
Goodfellas cigar.
Yeah, because I even told you when I sent you the list, I go, listen, you're probably not going to find all these cigars, especially 2 or 3 of them. But hell, I think you found everything.
I found, I think, all but 2, and the cinder or the unicorns that were on there, I was able to find. Even was able to pick me up a really cool knuckle sandwich.
Oh, the chef special from this year.
Yeah. It was the very last one he had in stock, and I'm like, I'm taking this box too.
Very nice. I almost gravitated towards smoking that one tonight, but I don't know, something about this Los Calaveras this year, which I'll comment on it a lot more as we go. But it's been one of my favorites of the year and favorites of the Los Calaveras line. Period. So, all right, guys, people don't want to see us. They're not here for us. They're here for the show. And the only person in the chats that actually popped a cigar and named something they liked this year was Sad Dave with the Davidoff Maduro. I'm surprised George didn't chime in. Where the hell is Dirty Birdie tonight? Where's Elmo? Where's everybody at, guys? I don't know if they know we got a stream going. But, yeah, wake up. Let's go. All right, guys, here we go. We went over last year's top 10. This year's top 10, which you've kind of seen how we've talked right now. We have some new names in here that didn't make last year, and some of the new names last year didn't make this year. That's where we're at. Peter is smoking a 101 Daruma. That's not what I asked. I asked what was your favorite cigar of the year, but, you know. Okay. George says, wearing a cowboy hat and hoodie with no pants. Dave. Yep, that – He got up a while ago to fix his lighting, and I will tell you, the carpets match the drapes. So,
all gray, but it's got the same gray stripes in it.
All right, guys, here we go. Top 10 cigars this year. This was voted on. If you're in here watching this, you're not familiar with Barrel Burners, this countdown is voted on by the members only. This is not done by ad revenue, and you shake our hand, we shake yours. The people that smoke vote on this. And these cigars had to be released in the year 2024. So there's where we're at. And we'll start with number 10. There you go. Number 10 is the Big Payback Maduro 70. This is a baseball bat. Jimmy the Deuce is smoking this one right now. I will honestly say I did not smoke this one. This is a 70 ring gauge.
Nope. I have smoked the other rings. I did not smoke this damn thing.
60 is the max. I did smoke the 60. Did not smoke the 70. I'm assuming it's probably going to be the same smoke. WD is smoking a Big Sky Madison. Well done. Big Sky caught my eye. So I know I didn't smoke this one. I know Ogie didn't smoke this one. So, Danny, I'll go to you. Did you smoke this one?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Okay. Yep. Something about a 70, man. It's just I'm sure.
I'm the only one that's got balls big enough to put a big black 70 ring in my mouth.
A big veiny 70 inch. So okay. So Matt Booth, once again, in our top 10 list, since we've been doing this, he's not made the top 10 list with a cigar. I was very interesting. What was it? Did the 14 didn't come out? Didn't make the list, right?
Well, it made the list last year, but there was no 15.
There was no 15 this year. That's why. Because normally, normally his anniversary stick makes the list, and that's right. So, too much stick for my mouth, Brutus says. Keith said he's never smoked the 70. So, I don't know, guys. It's a 70 inch, but there you go. What do you think? Initial, you're the only one smoking it, Deuce. You saved it for tonight. How does it compare to the other big paybacks?
Yeah, I think it's along the same line.
Did it lose anything in transition? I mean, normally a 70.
Not that I have seen so far. I do think a smaller cigar probably is a little more flavorful.
Right.
But this smokes very well. I've smoked big cigars previously, and they have a hard time staying lit.
Yeah. That seems to be a good burn on that one.
This one is burning great. It's got almost a perfect ash cut to it. I lit it as we were coming on here, so it's been lit for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Got a good flavor to it. It's medium full, but it doesn't have that real full kick. It's very smooth.
Gotcha. Yeah, because a lot of times you when you get that big of a ring gauge, unless it's specifically blended for that size, it's going to lose a lot of the transition and a lot of the flavor. So
Yeah,
it reminds me, who was that? Asylum used to do that ogre like 7x70,
Yeah,
big fucking like baseball bat. Yeah, so I can say it just tried to. All right, guys, real quick, we forgot to do something. Everybody pick up a glass. We're going to do a toast of barrel burners up for our fallen members. I cannot drink alcohol right now, so I have lemonade. So, all right, looking down on us, rest in peace. Thank you, everything. Our brothers up. This one's for you. Barrel burners up. Normally we do that at the beginning of the show, but I forgot the barrel burners up. Our guys watching from above, watching this. Still a big part of our club. We miss each and every one of you guys. And guys, there is a memorial page in our Discord. If you're a new member or even if you're old, just take a stroll by that memorial page every now and then and drop a heart and remember the ones we've lost in the 6 years of this club now. Rest in peace, guys. All right, number 10, Big Payback Maduro 70. We're on to number 9, guys. Number 9, right here. The Blackworks Intergalactic. This was an Indonesian Sumatra. This is the number 9 cigar. I'm okay with this number 9. This was a great cigar. Around Halloween time, they also did a orange band. It's not Halloween exclusive, but it was orange and it was in October. This was a great cigar. I liked it better than the orange label one. I can't say nothing bad about the cigar. I really loved it. And I know this is one Okie likes, so I'm going to let Okie take the floor now.
It was a good one. He did a lot of stuff with some really funky tobacco, and he jumped right in and he blended it and he did very, very well. I smoked it in 2 different Vitolas with the blue band. I've smoked some of the orange band as well. I am completely out. George, ordinarily, I am as well, especially when you throw Indonesian Sumatra in there as well. But James did a magnificent job blending this cigar. It's got everything you want. That sweetness is there, but everything rolls right along with it. I mean, there was a lot of baking notes to it, a lot of, cake and pie flavors to it that I really, really enjoyed. And a lot of brown sugars and things like that threw in it as well. So it was very different from what he's done in the past. But it was a very good cigar. Usually if Blackworks comes out with something, I'm going to grab a 5er or I'm going to grab, a mixed sampler or something like that, just because James Brown is kind of a witch whenever it comes to blending some of this stuff.
No, it was good, man. What did you think? Did you get the orange one as well? Okay, what do you think between the two?
I like the orange one better. It fits my palate better.
Okay.
With the lack of sweetness. I mean, if I'm going to jump in for a sweeter cigar, I definitely want to know it ahead of time. The blue band was awesome with coffee. It was really good with a cocktail and stuff like that. So I mean, it was really, really good. But yeah, I definitely smoked a lot more of the orange than I did the blue.
So the orange was not Sumatra, if I remember right, correct?
Correct. I don't believe so. I think it was a Nika Habano.
So that's why I'm liking the blue more and you're liking the orange more, because I'm on a Sumatra kick lately. But this was from this year, Bob. This one came out spring or summer.
Yeah, this was a PCA drop, ICPR drop.
Yeah, and then the orange one came out in October. So that's your difference. Deuce, did you get a chance to smoke this one? Is this one the one
I did? I did. I thought it was interesting the way Okie was talking about. He kind of opened up and had some funky flavors in there. Because I put on my notes on the cold draw, it tasted kind of like cornflakes to me. So
yeah, it was very, very bready, sweet in that way.
Yeah, it's very.
It
had that good bread. The molasses that goes into the grains.
What I equated it to was sweet feed, like you're getting ready to throw the livestock, a lot like sweet feed.
Yeah, I get that. I can see that 100%.
Yeah, and I've always liked a cigar because when I was a kid, raised around horses, I was always eating sweet feed. So when you get a cigar that hay, sweet feed, molasses taste, it just reminds me of that.
I remember that in the sugar cubes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Go give your horse a sugar cube and you take one. So all in all, you enjoyed the cigar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it too. Like I said, me being Sumatra, That's just what I'm gravitating towards more right now. But I mean, I'm not knocking the orange band at all. The orange one is a great smoke too. I just prefer this one, but I would smoke either one of them on any day. It wouldn't matter. Yeah, the orange one is Event Horizon. Okay, so it's a pin broadleaf with Equinor and binder. Okay, so
it was
the
a
binder's
very,
the
very
same. They
dark-
changed the wrapper. Very nice.
Yeah,
Danny, did you get a hold of this cigar?
I have the orange. That's what I'm smoking right now.
Okay.
And honestly, that's fitting my palate right now. So I mean, we're looking at this list, and it's
Yeah.
But I don't have it down this low. I actually have it up a little bit higher on my own personal list.
Well, and if you're enjoying that one,
I like the transition from it because you get that nice little hard hit pepper right up in the first third. Kind of mellows out. It's still there, lingering there, and then it just pops out at you again at the last third. So
you got a lot of coffee to that cigar.
Yeah, a lot of like black bitter coffee, like bitter espresso almost. And I was trying to figure out with the dry draw. I was like, like barnyard. It reminded me of a barn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was pulling on that. So I was like, all right, this is interesting. I couldn't figure out, but that's what it made me think of.
I think I spent more time on the cold draw on that one than I've done on any cigar in such a long time, because cold draw was complex.
Yeah,
and it's one that every now and then when I'm working, I'd like to just have a cigar in my mouth, and it's one of those that you could cut, stick in your mouth, and just kind of live off that flavor until you can light it on the way home.
Yeah. You could almost chew on the stick a little bit and just let it linger there. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, you're probably, like I said, you're probably like Oki on this one. If you're enjoying the orange, would be in the different wrapper. Sumatra, man, everybody I talk to, Sumatra is you either love it or you hate it. There's no in between with Sumatra. You're either gonna like that wrapper or you just ain't even gonna like George. I know George will not buy nothing. I don't even think George has tried the Espinosa Sumatra yet because it says Sumatra on it, and that's saying something. So
I avoid Sumatra like I avoid Oki with a cowboy hat on.
See, 4 or 5 years ago I would, but the last 2 years, that's if it says Sumatra and it's from a brand I normally smoke, I'm going to get it and I'm going to try it. It's just crazy how your palate nonstop changes. It's never the same.
And I think doing that is you got to kind of see what somebody can do with that very, very difficult wrapper or even a binder leaf or even filler. I mean, hell, you got some of that Sumatra in the filler. It's interesting to see what people can do with it.
Yeah. That's true. All right, so Corey said George has tried it. Bob says he secretly tried it, and George says he tried it once and that was enough. So no Sumatra for George.
Yep.
All right, guys, that was number 8, Blackwork Studio Intergalactic, the blue one, not the orange one. All right, coming in at number 8, guys. I love this cigar. I wish it would have did higher, but I think it's another one a lot of people hasn't tried. This was the new size they did in this Robusto. Yeah, I agree, Bob. Jonas is doing good stuff. If I remember right, I'll have to go back and watch the podcast episode I did with Eric. But if I'm not mistaken, this size, he blended this size for NBA player. I think it was oh shoot, I don't even remember, but it's a retired NBA player he was going to do this cigar for, and then something fell through in the deal and he released it himself. But this cigar is great in this size. This was a new size for this year. I agree, Dave. This cigar should have been higher. I just don't think enough people gave it the love or gave it the try. But this is one of the brands. I know, guys, it's a smaller brand. And I'm not saying support him because he's a barrel burner. But if you have not tried any of the Black Star line, you need to get out there and try it. Eric is killing it.
Agreed.
He's got cigars with Espinosa this year. The Marron was the anniversary stick he did with Espinosa. Great cigar. His stuff is rolled at Aganorsa. Everything he's putting out right now is great. And I
Yes,
love the
indeed.
cigar. This cigar could have easily been 5 or 6 for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to praise it no more because, like I said, y'all don't listen to me, but I'm going to let Oki go. It's his turn, but I love this cigar.
Well, so I did not have this one. This is one of the ones that I was not able to lay my hands on in a timely manner. But like his early stuff that he did at LT Ton de Bronze, I mean, those were great cigars.
Yes.
And then he dropped that War Witch, especially that
The Dark Witch, too.
Corona.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that Connecticut War Witch was probably, I would say it's probably one of my very top Connecticut's ever. It was just a very stout, very full flavored cigar in spite of having a Connecticut wrapper on it. Smoked amazingly between him and Terrence. I mean, they did an amazing job of selecting the tobacco with that one. I know that he's moved over to Espinosa, and I got to get to some of his stuff again. But, you know, this past year, I just haven't chased nearly as much stuff. And I'll repeat that on a couple of these other cigars that are going to happen just because of, I mean, I've got so many damn cigars to try to get through that I wasn't as keen. And I mean, a lot of the guys saw it with my activity level. I mean, there's been a bunch of shit going on in 2024. So, you know, I was not nearly as Johnny on the spot getting some of this stuff. This is one of the ones that I definitely have to go in order. So, Eric, I apologize. You know, I'm a huge fan of what he's doing with their entire group. You know, this is another firefighter. You know, I've got much respect for another firefighter out there that's going out and doing something that's outside of that. So already it's a brotherhood that, you know, that few experience, but you know, what he's done has been phenomenal, and where he's planting his feet and pushing this brand it's going to be something.
Oh, 100%. And he's so down to earth, and you don't want, I mean, you want him to see success being so down to earth. He loves the craft. He studies it. He knows his stuff. It's a great cigar. And while we're on the War Witch, if you guys love the War Witch, you have to get the Dark Witch.
Yep, I have to as well.
Eric told me, he's like, man, if you love my War Witch, try the Dark Witch. So I bought the Dark Witch when I bought this one, and I also bought the War Witch Pig size that he put out. Oh, my God. Just get out there and get them. All right, Deuce, what about you? Did you find this one? I know this was a harder one to find.
This was one of them that I couldn't find without ordering a big pack of them.
Oh, I'd have went halfsies with you, man.
Oh, I'll see. I should have asked around, but you know, I had Black Star a few years ago, probably before I left Louisiana. So I'm sure it's great.
Oh,
but I didn't get to smoke it.
Well, if you can find a 5-pack, I would say get them. What about you, Danny?
All right, so I had this one recently.
All right.
I wasn't in the mood for. I wanted more of a transition in it. That's what I wanted. Fair. I wanted a little bit of a little change in the flavor profile as I was going through it. To me, it seemed like it was consistent throughout. It's not a knock on that, because there's times that's what I want. But at the time, I wanted a little bit of a transition. I was drinking different things. I was eating different things. It was just like the time, and that was the wrong cigar for that time. So, I mean, I have another one which I'm going to set up when I'm going to smoke that one for sure when I'm drinking something, one thing.
Right.
And that's the flavor that I need to match my drink or pair with that drink. But solid smoke for sure. I had a little bit higher in my in my top 10 list. Again, solid throughout. I mean, once you started, it doesn't change much, which is great. But I wanted a little bit of a change in the middle there.
I think if I remember right, like a lot of cigars are transition like a fourth, a half, and then 2 more times. But if I remember right with this one, it was pretty consistent to the half, and then you get a little bit different the second half. So you get less transitions, but more consistency of what you got.
So I'm a big retroheller, and so like I retrohell a lot out of a cigar, and this was one because of how peppery it was. Even though it's a medium strength, I think it toyed with that full throughout. It was one that I couldn't retrohell a lot. Like I probably cut it down to half as much as I would normally.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I think I have one more left out of the 5-pack. I may have to get that Georgie Kapow up in here. Look at there. Sorry, scanning chats, trying to multitask. But yeah, I agree, man. This year, I always ask you to rank your top 10 in the order you will, and we always do that afterwards. But I didn't even do a top 10 for me this year. I limited it to 5, and we'll touch on that. But I did start out the top 10, and this hit my number 6 spot, which is higher than the 8. But there's some real good cigars on this countdown this year, which is you'll see. It was hard picking. Last year, I could name you my top 10 off that list easily last year.
Yeah.
This
There's
year,
a lot of different ones. There were a lot of different ones.
Yeah, this year, I really had to think to do the top 5, and I didn't even want to think to do the last 5. I'm like, because some of them are too close together where I could have probably had 3 tied and just took the easy way out and said 3 of these are number 6 or 3 of these are number 5. It's that kind of year.
Got to be very mood dependent.
Right.
Yeah.
What's up, Cigar Beast? Good seeing you, brother. All right, that was number 8, guys. So we'll do 7 and 6, and then I'll go back for the guys just coming in, and we'll do a quick recap of 10 through 6 like we do every year, and then we'll get on to the top 5. We appreciate you all coming in here. I'm not going to keep y'all long tonight. I know a few of y'all are under the weather, but we'll get this knocked out. Like I said, the replay will be up as always. But number 7 on the list this year was the Chef Special 2024. In my opinion, was one of the best Chef Specials yet. This cigar would have been way higher in my countdown. Don't know how it only got 7. I love everything about this cigar this year. It's one of those I couldn't buy enough boxes of. What do you think, chat? Y'all drop some comments. Let us know what you think about the Chef Special and Okie. It's your turn, brother.
Another one that I didn't chase, but I have loved all the Chef Specials in the years past. I mean, I still think that very first one that had the pyramid shape to it was going to be extremely difficult to ever beat because that cigar was amazing.
Yep.
But definitely looking for this one. I do know a spot up in Oklahoma City whenever I get up there that probably has this one still sitting on the shelf. So I'm going to have to sneak up there at some point and grab it and definitely enjoy it. The fact that it's going to be a broadleaf is going to be interesting. I know that Espinosa doesn't always work with a lot of broadleaf, but they work with a lot of San Andreas. They work a lot with just a lot of the Nico Habanos and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm intrigued.
It worked, man. I'm like Corey Davis just said in chat, best Chef Special yet. I would gladly agree with this. George says it should have been higher. This was my favorite Chef Special yet. Loved everything about it. What about you, Deuce? Did you find this one? Oh, yeah, you showed the box.
I did, yeah. I got the
beautiful blue box, by the way.
Color box. I'll go with my Funko Pop of Guy Fieri that I've got. No, this was my first Chef Special to smoke.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't really know what to expect out of it, although I have had knuckle sandwiches previously. So
barroom.
I really liked it. That first third starts out real peppery. And for being a dark cigar, it was so mild and so easy to smoke. And I agree. I think the broadleaf on it, different, but it really worked with the cigar.
Yeah, it was just beginning to end, from cold draw to burning your lips to burning your fingers. It was just great all the way through.
Yeah, all that pepper through it. Usually somebody will use a pepper and then kind of phase it out. First third was heavy pepper, then it kind of lightened up a little bit, and
but it stayed.
That pepper again on that last third.
Yeah,
that was a good cigar.
Cigars Unbended. Connecticut is great too. You can't knock the Connecticut, but of course Connecticut didn't come out this year, so we're going with what came out this year. But yeah, the Connecticut still good smoke. What about you, Danny?
I had this one probably like when it first started coming out, and it definitely made my top 5. That was the best Chef Special I think that's come out for sure. Flavor,
but somehow landed at 7. It landed at 7. Who the fuck knows?
and it's like Oki said, it could be like a mood thing. It's like I was mentioning with the Intergalactic. It was a mood thing, and but like that was that smoke is just solid all around. I mean, construction, it burnt perfectly for me. And actually, I want to say that Sad Dave was down here in Tampa during spring break. I want to say that I'm pretty sure we had that because Cutter Kings Frank was mentioning it to us. So
yeah, it's definitely a box buy, and it's a multiple box buy.
and
If you only bought one box like I did, and you opened it and you smoked it, you immediately went back online and bought another box because after
my
this
cheap
year,
ass
you're not
needs to get
getting
on
it
there
no
and
more.
buy some more of those. I really gotta jump on that.
Yeah, because you're not getting it no more after this year. So, Dave says he thought y'all had the 56.
We had the chef special.
No, Danny.
We were pretty drunk too, so I mean that was probably
only thing y'all remember happened for sure was y'all touched tips in the end.
No,
but a
just
lot
cross
was
streams. Just cross streams.
Okay.
We don't touch tips.
Rule 1: never cross streams. You know that. All right, guys, that was number 7. I agree. This should have been a lot higher. This, in my opinion, was a top 5, and you'll see how I rank it later. My personal rankings. Because if you guys don't know, the officers of this club, we do not vote in this poll. We leave it just for y'all. We don't vote at all, but we do, at the end of the stream, give you the ranking of how we would have voted on these 10 cigars. So,
make the club.
So no vote for us, but yeah, this cigar should have been a lot higher. And I don't know if it's nobody wanted to chase it, which is really not that much of a chase because it's on all the sites. But if you did miss it the first few months it comes out, then I can see where it becomes a chase. But yeah, great cigar. All right, number 6, guys. Here we go. The Comfortably Numb Volume 4. All right. Honest opinion here. This is my favorite Comfortably Numb of all of them. I was very hesitant to buy this cigar. I didn't buy this cigar until probably a month and a half, 2 months ago. Jeff and George kind of twisted my arm by hyping it up so high. And for the price, I mean, it's a great cigar. But this cigar, in my opinion, is the best of the series. Great cigar, great price. I don't see me buying the other 3 as much anymore. Cigar Beast just said the same thing. Favorite numb by a lot. So great cigar. Ogie, you should have been able to find this one, huh?
Oh, I did. And again, this was my favorite one so far. Now, granted, I have all 4 volumes, and I smoke all 4 of them and love them all. Was moving my kid up down here from Montana. I smoked 1, 2, and 3 on the drive down here in the truck. Absolutely love these cigars. They are great cigars. I don't know what in the world they got, going on with these. These are sleepers outside of their normal line. If you like Espinosa cigars at all, do yourself a favor and buy every volume of this one and find your favorite. This one just hit my palate as best. That was my backup. I got it sitting right over here.
And you can get the sampler that comes 1 through 3 that comes 5 each cigar, and then you turn around and buy this on top of it.
Yeah, and I mean it's price wise, this is a great cigar. Again, I've smoked it. My kid had a couple of them, and he's thoroughly enjoyed them as well. This is just a very good. It's a very full flavored cigar, but it does not hit like a full volume cigar.
Right.
So yeah, definitely go out and get this one. This one ranked much higher on my list, so that's why I was shaking my head.
And I'm going to touch on a comment Corey Davis just said real quick before we go to you, Deuce. But Corey Davis says, best of the series, but not better than the Chef Special. I agree in a way, but I think, Corey Davis, the only reason this one hit higher is because more people smoked this one because of the price point. Because it's hard to get the Chef Special in a single, a 3-pack, or a 5-pack. Normally, you got to splurge for the big high-priced box. Whereas this, you can get 5 or even the brick of them. It's not that expensive of a cigar. So, in my opinion, that's the only reason this is ranked higher, because more people had it. So, Donnie just said he just ordered some after watching this. And Keith says he keeps it out of eyesight so he don't smoke them all. Money has it higher than the CS. Exactly, George. 100%. That's my point. Price point of this cigar had more people trying it, which means more people could vote for it. Because you can only vote for what you tried. So, but the price 100%. This we could be doing a new budget stream soon, and this could be number one of the budget stream because this is a great budget stick. All right, Deuce, what you got, brother?
This is the other one I could not get my hands on.
Blasphemy, for shame.
I know, and this was the one that I tried harder to get, but I had the Comfortably Numb Volume 1 or the original when it came out, and enjoyed it. So I was really looking forward to getting this one. So it'll definitely be on my follow up. Let's go get it.
Right. What about you, Danny? I know you had to try this one.
No, that was actually one of the cigars I didn't get to try, and I'm kind of like pissed off about it.
Who hires these people for these live events? Oh my gosh!
I think
you showing number one already. Now we're going to lose all of our viewers.
I think you just shot your load. Okay, we're done.
All right, guys, that was it.
All right, hey, quick clue. Here's your top 10. Payback Maduro 70. Blackworks Intergalactic. La Bella Robusto at number 8. 7 was the Chef Special. Comfortably Numb 6. All right, here we go. Number 5, the Blackbird Superb. There you go, guys. There you go. I agree this should have been a top 5 cigar. I spoke highly about it a while ago. I loved everything about it. I will put this as my favorite Blackbird, but I've said it a couple times. Now we'll move on to Okie because I know he's tried this one.
It's like we were talking earlier. I think Jonas has put out a lot of good cigars. This one right here was very middle of the pack from what he has put out for me on my palate. I just didn't enjoy it as much. I think there's better stuff. Now, some of the stuff that I haven't purchased yet, I would put above this one, even though I've smoked it, just because I know the other brand. I'm not as big of a Blackbird guy. There are a few cigars out there that I've enjoyed. But overall, it's kind of one of those things that this one just didn't hit for me. There was a sweetness to it that I didn't care for. And it was, was it a good cigar? Yeah, it was a good cigar. Not even going to debate that a bit. All the cigars on this list were good cigars. But, this one here was not as good as some of the other stuff that he has put out. It didn't hit my palate the same way. If you are a fan with a traditional Dominican, even if your palate drifts a little bit more toward the Honduran flavors, this one kind of fit a lot more with that than it did with more of the stuff that I like that drifts toward, more of the Nicaraguan, more of the peppery, more of the full-bodied stuff. So, Again, this one would not have been in my top 5, but if the rule was I had to smoke it, it's at the bottom of the ones I've smoked.
Okay. And Bob, I agree. The Cactus Rim was a good smoke. I enjoyed it as well. Corey agrees with you, Okie. What about you, Deuce?
This was probably my favorite of the ones that I smoked. To me, it was very, very complex. From the cold draw through the all thirds. I really liked the cold draw because it had just a natural tobacco flavor.
It was a sweet tobacco smell.
Yeah, and you don't get that very often. At least I don't with the ones that I smoked. And so again, it was enjoyable there at the cold, and then to go through the different spices that kind of come through with it through the thirds. Really, again, Blackbird was something I hadn't smoked in a while. Very happy to get them back. This place down here has a bunch of them, so I'll be smoking a lot more Blackbirds.
Good. And I kind of agree with you too, Bob. The work he does for shops is often better than his core line. I get that. I can definitely see a lot of his collabs being some of the best cigars he's ever put out. 100%.
Oh, the Crazy Eddie.
I will agree.
I don't have to say more. The Crazy Eddie.
Yeah.
Well, and I will say when I went and bought this, the proprietor there said he had the Raven that had just come out and asked if I had tried it, and I said no, and he goes, "You've got to get it," and it was better than the Superb. Okay. I really enjoyed it.
So the thing with that now, if you'd have watched the podcast I did with Jonas, so he has his own factory now. He blends his own stuff. He does everything in-house himself. So all of his original cigars, if you smoke them then and you smoke them now, they're different. They're not even going to taste the same anymore. So anything that's being produced now, that if you're finding the newer inventory, because at the time when I did the podcast with him, all the new stuff was shipping out. So once you can sit through all the old, try everyone again because it's going to be different. So that's why that new one you tried was a lot different because it's new tobaccos. It's him doing it. There's no middleman with Jonas no more. He does it all.
Why have you now scared me away?
What you got, Danny? What'd you think about the Superb?
Oh, right, so the Superb is one I didn't go out of my way to try and get. I'm not going to lie. I love Jonas. I love the guy is great, awesome, cool to talk with. And I was just expecting it to be, and the reason I didn't go after it was I was just expecting it to be another Jonas cigar.
Right. Gotcha.
You know, so I was like, all right, I need something different other than this one trick pony. Not to be rude or anything like that. I was expecting a one trick pony.
Bob's tearing it up right now.
I didn't go out of my way to try and get it. And that's one cigar I definitely didn't try. I do remember now him saying that he has his own factory now and everything. So, all right, you know what? If I stumble upon it, I'll definitely grab it. I'll give it a shot. Give it a go.
Yeah, I'm curious to try the Unkind and the Crow again with the new blend.
The Crow was good.
Yeah.
I remember the Crow.
Yeah, Bob, the Minnesota Fats, the Vince, the Ruffled, the Crazy Eddie. Yeah, so many good collabs he's done. Great cigars.
The Vince.
All right, that was number 5, guys. We're moving on to number 4. Crown Heads, Los Calaveras 24, guys. I said it a while ago. Now I'm going to touch on this a little more. This is way higher on my list. Way higher. This, in my opinion, is the best Los Calaveras to come out since the OG 2014, which you can still get the 2014, but it's under a different name now. The same blend is the La Imperisa or whatever it is. But this Los Calaveras this year, this Habano, and I normally don't go crazy over a Habano, but I love this cigar. I could smoke this cigar every day and not get tired of it. I can go on and on all night about this cigar, but all I'm going to leave you with is if you have not tried it, get it. It's the best Los Calaveras to date. Take it away, Oki.
I agree. I mean, it's been the best one in several years. I did really enjoy the Nicaraguan Puro that he did last year. That was kind of a retribution from the 2 prior years that were just way too sweet for my palate. My best one that I still think is a Green Banded 2018, whenever the San Andreas Rush was coming on. I thought he did an amazing job with that. The fact that this is done at My Father with their tobaccos, I mean, you know, come on, the Garcia family has some of the best tobacco out there. So they were able to get it, you know, and I'm a huge Tatuaje fan as well. So the same factories and things like that. So, I mean, this fit right in. Huber did a great job with this cigar. I burned through 3 of them real quick. I buy the sampler every year that's got the 4 different sizes in it. Yep. Again, that Skinny Toro was the best one. And, you know, it's excellent. You know, this is a line that whenever it comes out every year, I will buy it. This is one of the ones that I absolutely will chase, is because Huber does a great job. I don't chase a lot of his other stuff. But this is definitely one that I have to try every year. Again, this one was way higher for me, mostly because some of the stuff that you guys have probably ranked higher, since I know what the rest of it is on the list, I haven't smoked. But out of the stuff that I have smoked, this one was much, much higher.
Yep. And I'll agree with you, Corey, the Los Calaveras anniversary. And I think I touched on it backstage before we started. It was a damn good cigar. It was the 10th year anniversary of Los Calaveras. It got super delayed and it didn't come out till late in the countdown. Not enough people tried it. But I think if it had enough time for everybody to try it as this one, it would be right up here with this one. And Corey's saying it's his cigar of the year, the anniversary one. And it's a damn good cigar, but like I said, not enough people tried it. But I love it. I'm smoking that one tonight right now, the Los Calaveras 24. And I will grab another box before they all go away. It's too good not to try, guys. You have to try this. Deuce, did you find this one?
No, the this was the third and last one I couldn't find, and unfortunately, you could order them, but
Box.
you order a single stick, and the shipping is more than the stick itself. So,
Well, yeah.
but
You just
damn,
start.
y'all have talked it up. So,
I'll
I
send
must
you
point
one,
out
man.
yeah,
I will send you one, and we will herf together and smoke it together. I want to see
that
your
sounds
reaction when you light
that
this
sounds
thing up.
perfect.
Yeah.
Because I probably haven't had a Las Calaveras since 2020, maybe.
Well,
But
you missed a
Crown
couple.
Heads,
Yeah, there were some subpar ones mixed in there, but this one made up for the 2 or 3 year of not so great.
Yeah, the purple and the yellow were
No,
okay.
no. I didn't care for them. I think the green one was the last one I really loved before this one.
Mm-hmm.
And the red one, like Okie said, I like but the purple and the yellow, not so much. What about you, Danny? Did you get to try this one?
So this one, you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. This is also one of the ones that I did not have, and I kicked myself because
that's
Keith
how I'm
was
feeling, Danny.
You could have bought the sampler like Okie does. It comes with the 4 different sizes in it.
It was worse because when Keith was visiting over here, I could have had him pick it up at freaking Cigar Castle and bring it down to me over at freaking Grand Cathedral, and I didn't even think about it. I am a Calaveras fan. I love all their stuff, really.
Yeah.
I mean, originally the OG stuff, like 14 around there, that's the stuff I really like. But I just didn't think about having them grab me like 2 of them, but you know what? I'm gonna go out of my way now and go to the freaking Cigar Castle and just take the ride and grab a couple.
And why it's pick on Danny night? George wants to know: is Danny smoked more than one cigar on this list?
Dude, let me tell you, man. This year, we were talking before this whole thing happened. Before we got on, this year was a weird year. Like, I did not smoke as many cigars as I normally would smoke. I didn't purchase. Life happens. Life gets in the way, and you're just freaking busy as all hell. And it was just a busy year, man. And it was like I was finding. I needed to spend that fun money on different things that I needed.
Hey, adulting gets in the way of our hobbies sometimes, and this is a hobby, and life gets in the way. And in Dirty Point, he's had it last night. He loves this cigar too. But like I said, in a minute, I'll show you where it ranked for me. But any given day, this could be a top cigar this year. This is a damn good cigar.
But
If
George,
you haven't
this is
tried
the last cigar that made the top 10 list that I did not smoke.
Right, and we will blame Rich. We will blame Rich, as we say in chats. Blame Rich. Jeff just said blame Rich, so everybody drop your blame Rich emojis.
Okay, Rich, thank you.
Great cigar though, and I'm just happy because I am a Crown Heads fanatic. Crown Heads is like Room 101 for me. They put something out, I buy it, I try it. I love everything John does. I love just everything they do, and they have been missing our top 10 countdown. I think it's been like 3 years since we had a Crown Heads in here, and every year I'm baffled why Crown Heads don't make the top 10 list. It just bugs the shit out of me.
And my big one that they put out every year, and if you have not had it, and Dave will absolutely vouch for this one, is every year they release the La Caramba. They have it in just a regular shape, but it used to be every even numbered year that they would release the Bellicoso, and they would do that one, and that is an amazing cigar. You have to get that one every year. This one is another one you have to get every year, and no questions asked. Just go buy the fucking thing. I mean,
hey, you know what? In my defense, the year's not over, so I can still go get it.
Belgian Blue was good. Yeah, Belgian Blue was good, Corey, but it came out so late. That's why we're fixing this problem. Next year, we're not going to start voting till January, and we're going to make sure we don't miss a cigar because the Belgian Blue was a great cigar. It's a lower price point. No, I disagree, Bob. Room 101 makes some good cigars too. I wouldn't say Crown Head makes good cigars unlike Room 101. Room 101 makes some good cigars. All right, number 3. Here we go, guys. Getting into the end of it. Also, hashtag blame Rich one more time. Boom.
Blame Rich.
Number 3. This is one I had to go out and get because I slept on it all year. I didn't get this till probably December to try it. I made Nikki Noodles proud. I bought this This AJ Brazil, and the only thing I can compare it to, and some of you guys in here tonight will know, when we did the Viva La Vida Club 500 smoke, and it smoked like you had a fucking bar of chocolate candy in your mouth the whole time. There was nothing but chocolate for this cigar for me. It was like I was eating a Hershey's chocolate bar. This was a damn good cigar. I waited that long for this cigar, but it was well worth the wait. This was a great cigar. What you got, Okie?
Okay, so prefacing, AJ is a witch. I don't think that there's anything that he can do that is bad. George hit on it earlier. He does cigars for everyone else, and they're phenomenal.
It still makes his good.
But okay, so AJ did a great job blending Brazilian Matafina. Awesome. I think it was a great cigar. There are other Dias de Gloria that I like better. But this was a very, very good cigar.
Okay, elaborate on that. Elaborate on that real quick. One that you would like better than this for us to try.
I mean, anything in the Dias de Gloria line. Just the OG Dias de Gloria.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite AJ cigars of all time. I think it's phenomenal. But again, here he is blending something that's kind of outside of his wheelhouse just to add to one of his lines. And you know what? He pulls it off. And I can't even think of how many iterations he would have gone through in order to have put this out. Because, I mean, he's known for trashing tens of thousands of cigars at any given moment, that just don't smoke and they don't meet what he wanted. So the fact that this thing came out, and I'm not a huge Brazilian fan. I do love Brazilian Matafina, though. And, yeah, it's a great cigar. There are other, like I said, there's other Dias de Gloria that I like better because it fits my palate better. But this is a phenomenal cigar. If you have not had it, you must go and get this cigar.
100%. Don't sleep on it. I'm just going to browse the comments real quick, Deuce, before you go to us. George says, I told you for months to get this, Jason. Sorry I took so long, George. Jeff says, great stick. Corey, great stick. George, once again, none of you fuckers would have smoked it if it wasn't for me. Bob says it's the best of the Brazilian Matafina in years. The Corona. Okie is smoking crack. The Brazil is hands down fire. Jeff says it's the most expensive of the line. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What you got, Deuce? I hope you found this one.
Hey, listen, I got to stick up for my cuz first. He is not smoking crack. Now, I know where he lives, so they may be cooking it back there, but they ain't smoking it. Okay, so this one for me, and just like Okie, the Dias de Gloria has been one of my favorites for, God, I don't even know, 2016 or so when I found them. And I was interested in this because a lot of people that I've met don't like Brazilian. I think the CAO Brazilian is a great cigar.
Right.
So when this popped up as a top 10, I'm like, okay, listen, I haven't had a Brazilian in a while. This one and the Blackbird Superb that I said was number one could probably go either way. This was the first of the 10 that I smoked. I agree. The chocolate in it, I pulled out tastes of malt. So you got that good, chocolate malt milkshake Whopper type taste to it. In the end, you get a little bit of even marshmallow. So, I mean, I'm not saying this is a dessert by any means,
but it's a treat.
It is a treat.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, we could go on and on. It's that good of a cigar. I love anything out of AJ. That's a good question. George just asked, what Vitola did you have? I had the Torpedo.
Yeah, I had whatever the Toro was.
Yeah, Okie had the Toro. Yeah. What do you remember? What you got, Deuce? Toro probably for.
I think it was a Toro. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Danny?
I had the Torpedo. It was the last one that they had at Corona Cigars. I had that yesterday.
Oh,
it was just a whim, and I'll tell you right now, it reminded me a lot of the Juarez as far as the chocolate bomb that you were getting.
Right.
but better.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's one thing that sticks out. You cannot overlook the chocolate, even if you don't have a refined palate. I don't have a palate like Oki. Oki can name shit I've never heard of, but my palate, I either like it or I hate it. I can't tell you what all flavors I pull from a cigar, but there's no mistake in chocolate. As far as the pre-light, the light, all the way to the end, this is chocolate, guys. This is chocolate. Everybody's saying the Corona is the one to get. The Corona is fire. I agree, Bob. The Vitola does greatly affect
the only size I had available was that torpedo, and I mean, I was just happy to find it. The price point was a little bit steep, that more than I wanted to spend on it, but I mean, you know, like we all agree, AJ he's a witch. He's a witch.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that he has so many sub lines. He does, like for CI, all these companies, all the collabs. And he still finds time to make his just as good, if not better, than what he does for everybody. He don't put out nothing bad, whether it's for somebody else or him. It's crazy how a man can come up with so many different damn blends. It's ridiculous.
I love anything that comes out of AJ Fernandez, and it's because of that. And
I mean, look at Viva.
He's got a quality that he is not going to put out a bad cigar. And anyone who has them roll for him or for them, they're just fantastic cigars.
Like I asked the rep when I went into them, I was like, hey, do you have any of these left over? And he was like, well, you know what? I think we have a few left. They only had one. And then he goes, you know what? With AJ, there's cigars and then there's AJ.
Right. I get it. Well, the last call stuff, George, I think it is what it is. It's a low price point cigar. It's made to be it's what it is. Yeah. It's like an entry level, everyday smoker. But that's it, guys. And like I said, this was a great cigar. There is no denying this. It's a great cigar for sure.
Well, and I mean, and because it wasn't on here, the Room 101 Anniversary Series are also AJ sticks.
Yep, AJ does the Room 101s as well. Does the Viva La Viva. Does the El Pupo. So, all right, guys, moving on to number 2. Let's go. Number 2 is the Warhead 10. One of my favorite Warheads to date. This was a great cigar. Not to mention the damn box it came in is one of the best cigar boxes ever made. And yeah, it is what it is. It's the Warhead 10, guys. I know a lot of people in chat's going to love this one. What you got, Oki?
That's the one that I'm smoking now. I think that as far as the La Bambas go, I have my particular rankings of the way that I've loved them in order. This one definitely cracks the top 3. The Vitola finally came back to something that I enjoy smoking.
Yep.
I think it's a great Vitola for it. Probably number 4, because I think I like the 5 the best. I like the 7, that long Churchill after that. Okay. I did have one of, Corey or George can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was a 3 that was the Corona, or no, the hell was it? Big ass long cigar. But that was in there as well. But this definitely okay. So fine, it's top 5 as far as the Warhead line has gone. It's pretty damn amazing. Great Vitola. It doesn't disappoint. And again, you go buy that thing and get the box. The box is probably one of the coolest showpieces out there. We're swag horse.
Yeah, the box is right behind me too. The Warhead.
Yeah, Lancero, the 3, Corey. Thank you. That was an amazing smoke. Unfortunately, I only ever got one of those. But probably that 5 was my absolute favorite. The 7 being behind it, just because it was great. I still have boxes of the 7 wrapped up, just sitting there waiting to be smoked because I love that Vitola so much.
Yeah, I would be okay with this being the Vitola every year. I love this size. This is a great size. Yep. Dave Holland ranks them the 5, the 10, the 7, and the 3 is his ranking.
Yep. I mean, and I really can't argue with that ranking there. Like I said, the 5 and 7, because they were more readily available whenever I was smoking them. I could get a hold of them easier. I don't know how broad the 3s were. The real question is how many boxes of the 3s does Dirty Birdie have squirreled away somewhere? That's the real question.
I'm sure between Dirty, Corey, and
Oh,
And George,
Frank.
they got all the 3s left in circulation. So
Well, I was talking to Frank not too long back, and I think he's got 3 or 4 boxes of the 3s still squirreled away somewhere.
damn.
So, yeah.
Deuce, I'm sure you didn't find this one because you came in late to the game when I reached out to you to do
Nope.
this stream.
Nope,
And they're
I
all
found
gone.
it.
Oh, you found it?
I found it. This is where everyone who has loved seeing me tonight turns everything off, because I'm not an Espinosa fan. There are a few. I know it's the big thing for everybody, obviously, by the list. So when I got to smoking, this was the 3rd cigar that I smoked of the 7 that I found. And when I got to it, it was just, eh. And I've smoked the 601s before. I've smoked the Warheads. But again, Espinosa for me is just middle of the road, and that's me. So
Well, palates are subjective, man. That's what's
Yeah.
great about the conversation.
Yep.
So, what about you, Danny? Did you get a hold of this one?
Absolutely. That's I try and keep that in my box here, in my Humi here,
Okay.
but I smoke them faster than I can get them. I have it as my number 2, and it teetered between my 2 and 1. I mean, it's a great stick. I enjoy it thoroughly.
Yeah, and what I like about it is, I mean, I pork this one down pretty fast. I mean, Harold, what are we at?
It's a fast smoke for me. Like
I've been smoking on it for an hour and a half, and I'm about to there. So I mean, it's a great smoke that I really enjoy. A lot of pepper. It's definitely something that is very typical of the Warhead line. Any Warhead is a good one, except for the number 6, because damn it, Hector, why did you blend that funky, messed up looking thing?
Oh my goodness. George says Danny's making a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. He's been here for years.
He's back in his good graces now. He gave him the plug. All right, guys. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. So let's do the quick breakdown.
And y'all have already seen the number 1 if you're paying attention. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but they're probably drunk already. So here you go, guys. Real quick run back. 10 was the big payback Maduro 70. 9 was the Intergalactic. 8 was the La Bella. 7, Chef Special for this year. 6, comfortably known. 4, best of the series for sure. 5 was the Blackbird Superb. 4, best Los Calaveras there is. The 24 for this year. 3 was the AJ Brazil. Don't sleep on it. 2 was the Warhead X, which can go down as the best Warhead ever, in my opinion. All right, number 1, you've seen it because I had a fuck up earlier, but here we go. Number 1 cigar of the year, Knuckle Sandwich 56. I mean, it's the Knuckle Sandwich 56, guys. This is one release I look forward to every year because, honestly, I haven't smoked a core line Knuckle Sandwich in probably 2 years. I am living off the Chef Specials and the Knuckle Sandwich 55s, 56s, these yearly releases. I love the yearly releases they do in this Knuckle Sandwich line. They're so damn good. The 56, I liked it better than the 55 last year. I can't wait to see what they do for 57. This is definitely another one. If there's any out there, you better buy it, but I doubt you're going to find it anymore because they normally buy these up pretty quick when they drop. What you got, Okie?
All right, so whatever Cuz the Deuce didn't do with his broad statement that he doesn't dig Espinosa, I'm about to get the rest of all the stragglers because we're going to throw some strays. The Knuckle Sandwich 55, I was very on. It is what it is. The 56, I did not chase just because of that. Now, we've talked about it 23, 24 has been some very weird years for me. I've been smoking out of my stash, guys. I got 4,000 to 5,000 cigars sitting in there. I can't smoke them all. I'm selling some of my stuff if anybody's interested. So shoot me a DM. Or, some of the folks I'll just give them to because, I can't smoke them all before they go bad. So I've been very particular about the chases. I did not go and chase this cigar. It is what it is. I love the OG Knuckle Sandwiches. The Habano is still one of my favorite cigars. I love that thing because it's just an absolute kick in the teeth. Great cigar. The Maduro is very good. The chef specials have been good from what I've had. But chasing the 55 and the 56 was will I get some in the future? Maybe. But I didn't go crazy to try to find it. So this is one of the ones that I did not smoke. Again, I would probably put this above some of the other cigars on the list that I did smoke just because I know the blends and the blender and things like that and where the tobacco came from. So it is what it is. You guys can boo this man. Weed and cocaine and all the rest of this stuff. Boo this man. And rest in peace, Bob Saget. But again, not something that I went out and chased. If I get my hands on one, I'm going to smoke it. I mean,
Right.
just for the sake of smoking it. But,
Okay. Deuce, did you find this one?
Yeah. I have to say I like the chef special. If you went knucklehead head to head, I liked it better. This one again for me was okay, but nothing to write home about. So
Okay. Got you. Well, we'll move on to Danny.
All right, I like the cigar. I like the 55 a lot better than the 56. That's just a personal preference. I didn't have this as my number one. I went through a couple of top cigar lists, because I didn't smoke them all, so it was a little bit harder to make my list. It's a really good cigar. The 55 I did enjoy, from what I could remember, a lot better than the 56.
Okay. Get that. Chat. All right. Out of the top 10 we put in here today, tell me your top cigar out of the 10 we listed today. And then I'm going to actually start with Deuce. Did you do a top 5 of your own or a top 10? Can you give us a quick little ranking of what you like the best? Or did you give me one, your top out of what you smoked?
Again, for me, when you look at the Gloria and the Superb, for me, those were my two favorite.
Okay.
From these 10.
Okay, gotcha.
Probably depending on the day, and the more I think about that chocolate and the Gloria, I'm probably leaning it now.
Okay.
As one that I would go down and have something in my humidor to smoke all the time.
Yeah, I could see keeping that cigar around regular. Corey Davis said the Warhead 10, the Chef Special, are his two favorite over top 10. Don't be shy, chat. There's a lot of y'all in here. Drop what you like. Danny, what list you do? You do a 5? You do a 10? How'd you do your list?
So I did a 5.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't smoke a lot of the cigars, so it was a little bit harder for me to make the list. But the Warhead, I went back and forth between 1 and 2, and I had that going with the Chef Special.
Okay.
Kind of went back and forth on that one. So either or, you could interchange them.
So, okay, same thing Corey Davis said, Warhead 10 or the Chef Special.
The Intergalactic, just because I've been on that type of the kick lately, and I had that recently, the Intergalactic made my top 3.
Okay.
You can disagree with me, whatever.
No, it's your palate, man. It's what you like.
Yeah, no. Black Star just went up there just because, again, I didn't have a lot of the other cigars. So I got that between 4 and 5. The last Calaveras, I know they put out good stuff. Crown Head always puts out good stuff. Big fan of Crown Head. I don't have it, so I'm just going off of assumption that I won't be disappointed.
Okay, gotcha.
And then Knuckle Sandwich.
Okay. I mean, either way, that's still a hell of a top 5. Okie, before I go to you, let me check what they're chatting right here. Corey Davis, of course, the Warhead and Chef Special. George ranked his number 1, the Warhead 10. The Knuckle Sandwich 56 was his second. The AJ Brazil was 3. Chef Special, followed by the Comfortably Numb.
Hold on, I forgot about the AJ because I had it yesterday.
Yeah, look at you. Yeah.
Damn, Gina. So you know
That's
what?
Why I said this year's top 5 was hard.
AJ,
it was too hard.
Just because I had that AJ yesterday and it reminded me of the Juarez, I'm gonna have to bump that up to like a top three. I just gotta smoke those top three back, again, and then it might change tomorrow.
See, and that's what I told y'all before we did this. I mean, I could literally have 3 cigars tied at a certain number and not want to pick out of them. It's that hard.
Yes,
Let's see. So Bob wants to know if anybody smoked the Southern Draw 10th anniversary. WD says the Num 4 was his favorite. Corey Davis, the Patina Nicaragua de Oro should have made the list. It did not. Viaje Cash, the Cigar Beasts. It all comes down to price, Corey. A lot of people, that cigar is one you got to buy, and it's like a box of 20. So you're spending $350. You have to be a loyal brand smoker to go out there and buy a box of 20 at that price. It's just very pricey.
Corey doesn't like Espinosa at all. I mean,
no, he would never be biased. All right, Okie, what we got with your rankings, brother?
Out of the stuff that I did smoke, these are the top 5, and again, they're just very much. It's going to be very mood dependent. Warhead 10, the Intergalactic, Las Calaveras 24, the Comfortably Numb 4, and the AJ Dias de Gloria Brazil. I enjoyed all of those. All very, very good cigars. The stuff that I didn't get into, the Chef Special, the 76, the La Libella, those were all the ones that I didn't get this year, that I really think that if I were to smoke them, that I would definitely have to rescind, because I know those guys that blend those things. Yeah. And they're amazing blenders. They've got great tobaccos. So yeah, I was a little unprepared this year to give the absolute truth on some of those. I will say about that Big Payback, I did enjoy the Big Payback line. It's a very good budget smoke line. But what I will say is, if you are a fan of the Big Payback line, go and buy the Los Stados Deluxe.
Yes.
Both of those cigars that they have out in that line are a very budget-friendly cigar. I think it's probably some of the best stuff that Booth has blended, even though it doesn't have Room 101 stamped on it. They are really, really good cigars. Again, I don't know how those haven't made it, because they are very good cigars. So if you're budget conscious and stuff like that, definitely go out and get those.
Especially the special edition that came out.
Yeah. But for me, I mean, like I said, it's the 2 Espinosas that I had. It's going to be the Crown Heads. It's going to be the AJ. And then it's going to be the Black Works. Those are all brands that I really, really love. Another one that I'm really surprised didn't show up this year was some more Tatuaje blends, because Pete uncorked it this year. There was a lot of great Tatuaje smokes this year. I did Saints and Sinners again this year. And some of the stuff that he's got for test blends that he's throwing out, if he brings those out into the real world and allows those to be it, I mean, it's going to be just absolutely nuts as far as what the quality of those cigars are going to be. I've got, several different brands that I smoke a lot of all the time. Some guys didn't come out with stuff this year. Some guys did, and it was just, but it wasn't anything to write home about. But again, out of my top 5, if I went into a store and it's just like, I need something to smoke, I'm going to pick any one of those 5 and grab them off the shelf. They're going to be great smokes every single time.
With today's palette Okie has today, give me a top of those 5. What would you grab out of your humidor today?
Warhead 10.
Very nice. That's what I wanted to hear. What I wanted to hear. Yeah, that's his dominatrix mask, Bob, behind him. Behind Deuce. He took the ball gag out just for this stream to keep it PG.
This one is actually a very special one.
He wore that in Eyes Wide Shut.
No, that looks like gold dust. That looks like a mold of Dusty Rose's head.
This is a mold of Michael Madsen from Kill Bill 2.
Oh, nice.
And it's signed by the 2 artists and Michael Madsen.
Very nice. Look at you go. All right, guys, my top 5 now. So coming in at 5, I did the AJ Brazil, but I could flip this AJ at any day, but it made my top 5. So I put it in my top 5. And then I did number 4 was this year's Chef Special. Number 3, I did the Superb. I know a lot of mixed reviews on the Superb, but I think it's a damn good Blackbird stick. Number 2 is the Warhead. Yeah. Number 2 was the Warhead 10 for me, and my favorite smoke of this year was the Las Calaveras for this year. And I'm not moving it from 1. All the rest can change places, but for me, that Las Calaveras this year, I cannot get enough of that cigar. I don't mind grabbing it every day and smoking it. That has to be my top cigar. The other four can flip. They can all change spots. It wouldn't hurt my feelings. But the Los Calaveras is number one. And Bob said, no, the black mask. It looks like your dominatrix mask, Deuce. The black mask.
Yeah, that one over there. Thank you. That my daughter made that when she was like 10. So
Oh, well, that just made it weird.
yeah, it made it really weird.
Awkward. Yep. I'm not making eye contact.
Nope, don't make eye contact with it. Yeah. But yeah, that's my list, guys. To me, this was the toughest, probably top 10 we've ever had, because there was a lot of ones that I think should have been top 5 that lingered in our top 10. But I know a lot of it comes down to price. I know a lot of it comes down to availability. I know we got some brand hoes around that only want to smoke certain brands and not even try the rest. It's just what it is. But I mean, this we probably doubled the amount of votes this year that we normally have people voting. So it was a big turnout. Everything had to be released in this year. I know we had some stragglers that came late November, mid-December, but we're going to change that next year. The voting, we'll make sure the voting starts once everything's released and you've had time to try it. Then we'll put out the stream. But it was a solid list, man. This was a tough list. Bob, that's what I've just touched on. We actually voting moved a month later this year, hoping to catch all the late ones, and we still missed some of the late ones. But this was a solid list. It was tough, man. Like I said, I'm looking at my top 5 again, and I could change it around. Probably I can give you 5 different lists off of this top 5. So,
Yeah.
Well, and I think this was the first year that I wasn't mad.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Not that mad.
The past couple of years I've gotten a little more animated. This year, this one here is just like, listen, I think it was pretty well spot on from the stuff that I had. I tried it. You know what? We're good to go on the majority of what was voted on and things like that. I still don't get somebody find ketchup here's the task. Whoever is closest to ketchup, drive by his house and kick him in the junk for putting that big Payback 70 on there.
But he's not the culprit though, because people voted for it.
I know, but I still want ketchup kicked in the junk.
Well, yeah, the Ort 6 that Espinosa put out late was a damn good cigar. I see a lot of y'all talking about that one. It won't make next year's list either, so it just got screwed. But I remember last year's list. There were several what the fuck moments when we were doing the stream of how this even get in there, or how is this that low. There's Sneaky Pete. We can blame Pete too. Pete, now that you're back, and because you were kind of saying something about so many Espinosas being in the top 10 earlier. What was your top cigar of the year, or what in this list was your top cigar? Now that I see you back in comments, but always blame Ketchup, blame Rich. And I will tell you, there were a few write-in vote cigars that the only vote they got was the guy that wrote them in the previous round. They got like 1 vote.
Yep.
So there were some cigars and then there were a few cigars that got wrote in that didn't even get a vote for. So the original guy that wrote them in didn't even vote for them because everything else in the list was so much better. He didn't even like it over the others. So Crown hit 2024. Okay, Pete. Okay. You earned a little respect back. Pete's favorite cigar was the Crown Hits 2024, Los Calaveras.
And the big thing about it is, like I said earlier, is they moved the trade show. So unfortunately, they moved the clock. So are we in the lull right now where everybody's trying to adjust to the new clock in order to bring out the new stuff at the trade shows?
Yeah, you got PCA in March.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just that's really going to play with this timeline, because beforehand, like I said, July, it came out over Independence Day holiday. That's where all of those folks were at. They were buying stuff, and pretty much everything hit your retailers by October, and we were kind of done. And you had all the early releases that kind of trickled in through the first part of the year, some test stuff, and then the guys brought their home runs later on. They stacked the lineup for the back half of the year. And I kind of feel that last year and even this year has kind of been a rubber band of all of that, we're still trying to adjust to the fact that the trade show is going to be moving earlier. The fact the trade show is moving to New Orleans, which why ever in the hell anybody thinks that New Orleans is a better place to go than Vegas, I will never understand. But, that's my personal hot take. Wow. So I'm completely outvoted on this one. But again, I mean,
Hey, I'm happy it's in New Orleans because now it's easier for me to make. So and it's been 10 years since it's been down here. So evidently it's a change of scenery. Or
Things are getting hurt.
Yeah.
Or it could be different tax breaks. I mean, something had to bring them back. Other than them waving the smoking ban indoors just for this, because that had to be done. That was the first big hurdle of New Orleans, because now you can't smoke indoors in New Orleans no more. So they got that waived. So I'm sure there's some tax ramifications as well that brought them back.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I think everything's going to stabilize, and we're going to figure out when to do this. It may end up pushing back that it's, I mean, I see a lot of other groups that are doing best of 2024, and they're not doing them until now.
Yeah.
Whereas them have already done them in November.
Right.
Because it's done.
Yeah.
You're done in November. And, it's going to be a big learning curve, because, I mean, how much of this stuff, the late stuff, is going to ship January to March.
Right.
And then we're going to go crazy for it. And then it's going to get covered up by November, December of next year. So
yeah, because the biggest influx we had to worry about was all the guys that came out with Halloween themed cigars. That was like your last drop of the year was your Halloween themed cigars. Tatuaje for one.
Yeah, anybody that did the holiday blends or all the rest of that stuff, Viaje with the hatchets and all the rest of that stuff. I mean, you kind of catch them a little bit late, but
they're never going to be on our list. Viaje will never make this list. Not enough people smoke it and try it. One is Viaje price point. One is how hard it is to get it. If you don't buy the Viaje the first day it drops, you don't get that Viaje. They're done. They're sold out. So Viaje never make this list. I wish Tatuaje. I mean, he's had a couple over the last years make it, but he don't get the love either. That's another great one I like.
That was the one that I about just absolutely just lost my shit on, was the fact that, the Tatuaje, the tattoo stuff over the last couple of that. I mean, those right there didn't get more love, and they ranked so low. I mean, I still think those were some of the best cigars of the year.
Yeah.
They were amazing. Oh, we got the Kohonu. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Tatuaje. It's still a great brand. But like I said, Espinosa is always going to make our top 10. That's just what it is. A lot of people smoke them.
Yep.
I'd like to see Black Star get a little more love. Last year we had Big Sky in the mix, which is great to see. Don't know what Billy and Gus has planned up their sleeve for the coming year. The El Pupo Fry was phenomenal, but once again, only a handful of people even know it's a different El Pupo than what's out there.
So, and I maintain that it's probably the best one out there.
I agree. You're not going to get an argument with me. It's by far my favorite El Pupo yet.
Yeah.
Just that size. There's something about that size of that cigar. It's a quick smoke, but you get all the intensity and flavor of the regular El Pupo, but it's more like a punch in the mouth being that small of a size. It is just.
I just wanted more. Like I said, I just wanted more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
that was
probably
the coffin nails. I mean, you had the minnows from Big Sky. You've always got the black crack from Tatuaje. A lot of these shorter format smokes is, I'm drifting a lot toward a lot of them because of just a time thing. I don't necessarily have a time to smoke a 6x54 a lot of times. So, I mean, it's just a very different thing as to where my palate has drifted this year, just because of where it is. But again, touching on what Danny said earlier, I mean, 2024 has been an absolutely just bonkers as shit year. I mean, I think that's for a lot of us, is there's been a lot of changes and a lot of things that have been going on. I think the rubber band has snapped back the other direction for 2020 when nobody was doing shit.
Right.
And now all of us, we've gotten rid of all that free time that we were forced upon us. And now 24 is kind of racing back into it. Now we're going to be back in this normal grind of, this is going to be the grind again, like it was in 18 and 19. So again, go out and find, the spot that, that has your favorite cigars. Go out and support your local brick and mortars, buy the cigars, try the new stuff, branch out, don't smoke the same thing. I mean, it is what it is. Oh God, Bob, I have last year. I had
That's why I put this on here. That's why I put this on here. This is a good debate.
I had that one. So I've been so busy with everything going on between, family stuff, with farm stuff, with job stuff, that I didn't have a chance to go through and pull up my list like I did before. And the biggest WTF moments of cigars this past year, normally I have at least a top 5 of those in my hip pocket to talk about on these, but this year I didn't. get any of those. So, we'll see. Beast, I would love to have the conversation on the side about what happened there. I don't, knowing Eric,
I'm not
the way
familiar
we know
with
Eric,
that either.
yeah, knowing Eric the way we know Eric, it's one of those deals is I just like to have a little bit more understanding as to what happened. Unfortunately, some business decisions
Same.
have to be made at times, especially with where your lounge is at. So I'm curious about it as to what really happened.
California's tough.
But I'm not defending anybody because business decisions have to be made, and sometimes it ain't show friends, it's show business.
I'm trying to think 10 worst releases. I'm trying to think if I can just come up with one from this year. A worst release from a big brand.
They would all have to be Sad Dave's choices, right?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So Bob hit one that I did this year. I did some Cavalier stuff that I was not nearly as impressed with.
I don't smoke anymore.
I've liked some of their stuff in the past. It just wasn't there. Another disappointment that I had was West Tampa was coming out absolutely on fire in 2023. And they seem to have dropped off of the face of the planet. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Because I need more of Ricky Rodriguez's cigars because he just
had 2 in our top 10 last year. 2 cigars in the top 10 last year.
Yeah, so a lot of his new stuff, and it just being because it's closer to home, a lot of his newer stuff won't be available until next month. So I don't know what happened there. I know he got all the remaining 2 rollers from CAO over to West Tampa Cigar. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
Yeah.
But like the Circle of Life, that won't be available until January in retailers.
Dave said that in chat. He's looking forward to the Circle of Life.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's some more like CAO fell off. I mean, I did end up getting my hands on the newest, what's the Brazilian release that they do every Amazon Basin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, God, please, why? I wasn't impressed. The H. Upman stuff, the new Banker series, the Day Trader. I was just, it wasn't bad, but I mean, whenever you go and smoke a lot of the other Banker series, and it's just like this one was just not in the realm of that there. There's a lot of stuff from them. I mean, there's a lot of stuff from a lot of different brands that just.
I have to. I think that cowboy hat's on too tight. Cutting the circulation. I like
so anything y'all really looking forward to releasing this year that you've caught rumors of, or you're looking? I mean, of course, you're looking at it's a new year. Hopefully, we'll get a Room 101 anniversary. You'll get your Lost Calaveras, You'll get your new Tatawahe redos of the Monsters.
Yeah. Yeah. This year, that was another disappointment for me, was the redo of the Jason this past year. Was another one that I was just like, what the fuck, man? It wasn't as good as years past. And maybe it was a Vitola thing or whatnot, but
it's a lot bigger ring gauge now. Vitola.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it just, I'm hoping that he didn't do the best that he could possibly do whenever he put out the Skinny Monsters.
Yeah.
That's kind of a tough deal because I like Pete's stuff. I mean, I think Pete does a good job. But there were several of them that I did smoke, and I was just like, whatever, man.
Okay. Well, guys, we really don't have nothing else to say. I guess we went longer than I thought we do. I figured this would only be an hour long, but I appreciate all you guys made it. The replays will be up. Any of you that, of course, any of you guys still smoking, we have the live Herf room in Discord. You can bounce in there and still smoke and talk about all this. And that's where we're at today, man. Just thank y'all for watching. And like I said, we're going to alleviate a lot of these problems next year. We're going to not start voting till January. We'll probably end of January, mid-February, actually be doing this stream next year to make sure we get them all in. And who cares what anybody else says, because we're voting. Our members are smoking and voting. So who cares if we're the last one to do it? Our countdown's going to be different than most anyway. So their top 10 ain't our top 10. So it's always good. And I appreciate all you guys that hung in here the whole time with us and still here. But yeah, get y'all's ass in the open Herf if you're still smoking, and hang out. Guys, y'all stay put. Everybody have a great night. We'll see y'all later. Wait, hang on. Bob, Jimmy, no disrespect intended. Please accept my apologies for opening my mouth and inserting my foot. I've never seen Bob apologize, so I had to make sure to read that for the world.
I've never seen Bob apologize for sucking on toast.
No,
Jason,
no, I
can you
totally,
actually put that on the screen.
I totally
Put
get
on the
it. It's
screen.
actually green. It looks
we go.
black.
Everybody, you can
So,
screenshot that now. Bob
I
is
think
human.
Let's
I
go.
think it's
Everyone
hilarious.
screenshot it.
Yeah, I just had to catch that. All right, everybody, y'all have a great night.